After impregnating this lady, Chike insulted and mistreated her in his house while also flirting with other women. Now, he has realized his mistakes and pleads for forgiveness. Will she accept the man who once despised and mistreated her, or will she denounce him and move on with her life? Let's find out. Kindly subscribe to this channel to get more of our latest stories. One afternoon, Chike was having fun partying with ladies in his house when his uncle from the village arrived and interrupted their moment with a village lady. Chike was surprised and displeased at the sight of him and asked who the village girl was. His uncle scolded him for asking such a question and immediately told the other ladies to leave. Chike expressed his displeasure at his uncle for chasing his guests away, but his uncle sternly reminded him that since he had gotten IGWE pregnant, he must take responsibility. They exchanged words before his uncle took IGWE to his room, only to find another lady there. He asked her to leave immediately. Chike witnessed the scene and, feeling embarrassed, pleaded with the lady about the situation, but she left angrily. Later that day, Chike argued with his uncle about the entire situation. They exchanged heated words as his uncle insisted that Chike should pay IGWE's bride price. However, Chike despised the idea and declared that he would only take care of the child if she insisted on keeping it. He then stormed off. Do you think Chike is making the right decision? Kindly drop your thoughts in the comment section. When Chike went to his room, he found IGWE sitting on his bed. He insulted her, saying she stank and hurling offensive words at her. Although she pleaded with him, saying it wasn't her fault, Chike cruelly told her that she should have aborted the child. He then took her to another room to stay. Later, Chike went downstairs and exchanged harsh words with his uncle for bringing IGWE, which further angered his uncle, causing him to shout at Chike. That night, Chike's uncle came to his room, feeling displeased, and asked where he should sleep. Chike insisted that he sleep in IGWE's room, which further upset his uncle. In frustration, Chike left the room, leaving his uncle there. The following morning, Chike shared his frustrations with his friend over a phone call, and they deliberated on the situation. IGWE then interrupted the conversation, and Chike insulted her even more, saying harsh words and asking her to leave. That same day, Chike's uncle scolded him for locking the kitchen door. In response, Chike offered him some money to take care of their needs and then left. Chike's uncle then gave IGWE some money to prepare a meal for them. Meanwhile, Chike's friend teased him about his new wife, while Chike expressed his frustration. His friend insisted that he should take responsibility for IGWE and provide for her as his wife. Later that day, IGWE and Chike's uncle went to the market to buy food items for cooking. That same day, one of Chike's girlfriends came to his house. A few minutes later, Chike's uncle and IGWE arrived and saw her. Feeling displeased, Chike's uncle insulted her and said harsh words, prompting her to call Chike and report what had happened. Meanwhile, IGWE prepared a nice meal and approached Chike's uncle to offer him some food. As she left, Chike arrived with his girlfriend and confronted his uncle, who indirectly insulted him. This led to a heated exchange of harsh and offensive words between them before Chike left with his girlfriend. Later that day, Chike's uncle consoled IGWE about Chike's attitude toward her, offering her words of encouragement. She expressed her frustration and then walked away. While in the kitchen, IGWE reflected on her decision and everything that had been happening. She felt deep regret, knowing that her uncle would be leaving the next day, which left her even more displeased. The following morning, Chike's uncle interrupted him in his room, reprimanding him for sleeping with a woman while he was around. He then informed Chike that he was leaving for an occasion in the village and instructed him to take care of IGWE before departing. Afterward, Chike and his girlfriend got into an argument. Later that day, before leaving, Chike's uncle gave IGWE some money to take care of herself and bid her farewell. The next day, while IGWE was cleaning the house, Chike arrived feeling upset. He accused her of locking him out of his house and proceeded to say offensive words to her before storming off, leaving her in tears. That same day, Chike's friend came to his house asking for him and felt compassionate upon seeing IGWE crying. Later that day, Chike's friend advised him to treat IGWE well and stop making her cry. However, Chike disagreed, expressing how much he despised her. Just then, Chike's girlfriend arrived, capturing his attention. As he was about to leave with her, his friend warned him about his decision, but Chike left quietly. That same day, in Chike's room, Ijeoma entered without knocking and immediately apologized. However, Chike insulted her harshly, causing her to leave in tears. His girlfriend, feeling bad for Ijeoma, tried to calm Chike and stop him from insulting her further. The following day, Chike's girlfriends had a discussion together. They talked about Ijeoma and how Chike constantly insulted and mistreated her, then deliberated on the situation. That same day, Ijeoma prepared a delicious meal in the kitchen and approached Chike, offering him some food. However, Chike, displeased at the sight of her, once again hurled offensive words at her. She remained silent as he told her to leave, but she broke down in tears. Later that day, Chike's friend came to the house and saw Ijeoma crying. Concerned, he asked her why she was upset. Ijeoma then expressed her frustration about how badly Chike was treating her in the house and mentioned that she was considering aborting the baby. Chike's friend consoled her, sympathizing with her situation, and told her to call him if she needed anything before leaving. That same day, Chike's friend had a serious conversation with him about how poorly he was treating Ijeoma. They exchanged heated words, but his friend persisted, giving him reasonable arguments on why he should accept Ijeoma as his wife. Meanwhile, Chike's girlfriends came to his house, but Ijeoma was displeased. They exchanged offensive words, and Ijeoma insisted that they leave. They left angrily. At that same moment, Chike received a call from one of his girlfriends who complained about Ijeoma. This made Chike upset, while his friend told him that he would have done the same if he were in Ijeoma's shoes. Later that day, Chike confronted Ijeoma in anger, expressing his rage over her chasing away his guests. After venting his frustration, he left angrily. That same night, Ijeoma received a call from Chike's uncle, and they chatted for a while before she went to sleep. The following day, Chike's girlfriends discussed their visit to his house and felt excited about it. That same day, Ijeoma approached Chike and pleaded with him to help refill the gas, as it had run out in the kitchen. However, he refused, insisting that she should fill it herself. He also said harsh words to her, making her cry. She then pleaded with him to open the freezer so her food wouldn't spoil, but Chike remained unmoved. Ijeoma knelt before him, crying and persisting, but he ignored her and instead went to open the door for his girlfriends, who entered the house, leaving Ijeoma in tears. That night, Ijeoma called Chike's friend and shared her pain with him. He consoled her and offered comforting words. The following morning, as Ijeoma was cleaning the living room, Chike came downstairs. Upon seeing her, he felt irritated and left quietly. Later that day, Chike's friend came to the house and asked Ijeoma if she had eaten the night before. He insisted that she bring the gas cylinder so he could help refill it. A few minutes later, he returned with the filled gas and also offered Ijeoma some money to take care of herself. She appreciated his kindness, and they talked for a while as he helped her carry the gas inside. That same day, Chike's friend called him and shouted at him over the phone for treating Ijeoma so wickedly. He expressed all his displeasure to Chike. The following morning, Ijeoma brought a meal for Chike and knelt down, pleading with him to reconcile. However, Chike accused her of having an affair with his friend. She denied it, insisting it wasn't true, but he insulted her and told her to leave. That same day, Ijeoma and Chike's friend went to the antenatal clinic where he helped register her. The doctor then gave them some pregnancy advice. Later that day at home, Chike's friend reminded Ijeoma not to miss her antenatal appointments. He also consoled her about Chike's behavior, insisting that she remain optimistic. They chatted for a while before he left. That same evening, Ijeoma prayed in tears for Chike, expressing heartfelt prayers for his well-being. Chike, who had just woken up from sleep, came downstairs and witnessed her praying for him. He was deeply moved by the scene, seeing the woman he despised and mistreated praying to God for his prosperity and a change of heart. That night, in his room, Chike reflected on what he had witnessed. He realized that Ijeoma was praying for him just like his mother used to. He then thought about how he had first met Ijeoma, how she had helped him with his building project, and how badly he had treated her. He began to feel guilty for his actions. A few days later, Chike went to the supermarket and ran into an old school friend. They exchanged pleasantries and were happy to see each other. Chike admired his friend's happiness with his family. After they parted ways, Chike reflected on his own life. That same day, when Chike got home, he thought deeply about the offensive words he had said to Ijeoma and started considering reconciling with her. The following day, Chike bought some baby items and placed them in the living room. He pleaded for forgiveness and spoke kind words to Ijeoma, expressing his change of heart. However, Ijeoma reminded him of how he had defiled her, which led to her pregnancy. She also recalled the way he had mistreated and insulted her. As she cried, the scene became very emotional. Chike continued to plead, but she left in tears while he regretted his past actions. That night, Chike went to Ijeoma's room to plead with her again, but she refused and told him to leave, which he did. The following day, Chike's friend came to his house and helped reconcile them. Ijeoma eventually accepted Chike's apology. The next day, Chike and Ijeoma went to the hospital for her antenatal checkup. The doctor discussed Ijeoma's pregnancy with them, and Chike expressed his excitement. He assured the doctor that Ijeoma would attend all her appointments on time and introduced himself as her husband. They then discussed further details. Months later, Ijeoma gave birth to a baby boy, and they celebrated the joyous occasion with Chike's uncle and the rest of the family. Everyone was excited and happy. So guys, if you enjoyed this story, kindly subscribe to this channel to get more of our latest stories.